All right, friends, here we go. Last exam before Thanksgiving break. I'm excited about Thanksgiving break. Let's get started. A couple things for tomorrow's exam. One, you are going to be given a calculator. So calculators will be there for your use. That being said, for certain things, you will need to use a calculator to approximate with pi. Other things you will leave in terms of pi. It should make certain things a lot easier as far as the math is concerned. On your exam tomorrow, you will be given a toolbox with all the formulas, but they won't tell you what formula is for what. So they're all going to be up there. They'll be up there in the corner. You'll get, everything that you're going to need, but you have to know how to use it. All right. So a couple things. On your exam, you're going to have to do multiple things for each problem. The first one, you're going to find the area of the base, and the area of the base is going to be with the big B. That's what signifies. The big B is for area of the base. In a cube, it doesn't matter. How do I know it's a cube? Because all sides are marked congruent. So in a cube, it doesn't matter which one the base is because all the sides are the same. So you only need one because this is 3, 3, 3. Everything's going to be 3. So I'm going to find the area of the base, but again, it doesn't matter because it's a cube, so all sides are the same. And to find the area of a square, it is length times width, which would be 3 times 3, which will give me 9. Now, up here, it says it will say it again on your exam. Do not forget to label your units. You're going to get multiple points for these problems. You're going to get a point for solving it correctly, a point for finding the volume correctly. You're also going to get points taken off if you don't label your units correctly. So this guy here is in centimeters, and it's going to be squared. Anytime you're using area, so anything with area, it's going to be units squared. With volume, it's units cubed. Okay, so for volume, to find the volume of a cube, it's the area of the base times the height. My area of the base is 9. My height, again, is all the same. It's 3, which will give me 27 centimeters cubed, 27 cubic centimeters. There you go. Cylinder. For a cylinder, the bottom is a circle. To find the area of a circle, your formula is pi r squared, okay, where r is the radius. Right. In a problem like this, they did not give you the radius, they gave you the diameter. The diameter is the whole thing across. The radius is half of the diameter. So in this case, your diameter or your radius is going to equal 6 because the whole thing is 12. So here we go. Area of the base. I'm going to leave it in terms of pi. So I have pi times 6 squared. And remember, 6 squared is 6 times 6. So my answer for the area of the base is 36 pi centimeters squared. Okay, you can leave your answer there in terms of pi. For this one here, it wants you to leave it with respect to pi, so we're going to leave it in pi for the volume. And again, for this, it's the area of the base times the height. Your area of the base is 36. You're going to have a calculator. You may as well use it. 36 times 15, because that's your height, gets you 540. 540 pi centimeters cubed. There's your answer with respect to pi. For here, they want an approximate. So you're going to need to take your answer, which was 540, and multiply it by pi. And if you have these calculators, there'll be a pi button on them. I think most classes are using these calculators. If not, ask your teacher beforehand how you find the pi button. You do not want to use 3.14. You want to use the pi button because pi is an infinite number, so we want the closest approximation we can get. And for this one, it is going to be, you'll see that, 1696.46 and that is going to be centimeters cubed as well. All right, so again, calculators make this a lot easier. Triangle prism. All right, and on this one it says use the triangle as a base. So I'm using this guy right here as my base. Okay, area for a triangle. 1/2 the base times the height. I know some of you guys learn it as base times height divided by 2. It's the same thing. All right, so to find the area of a triangle, it is 1/2 3 times 6, base times height. It doesn't matter what order I do this in, it's multiplication. So I've got 1/2 of 18, which is going to equal 9. Again, don't forget units, meters squared. To find the area, it's the area, to find the volume, it's the area of the base times the height. Here's my height, here's my area. 9 times 8 will give me 72 meters cubed. All right, moving on. That is a square pyramid. All right, we are only doing square pyramids. We're not doing triangular pyramids. So with your square pyramid, you have to, again, find the area of the base. All right, area of the base, it's a square, so it's 6 times 6. Length times width, and that's going to equal 36 inches squared. 36 inches squared. Everybody good with that? Now, volume's a little different for pyramids and cones, all right? And it's 1/3. Okay, you're gonna cut everything in 1/3. So make sure that you guys are cool with that. It's for the cones and the pyramids. You guys are going to be using the 1/3. It makes it pretty easy when you guys are given your formulas up at the top, so it won't be too big of a problem. All right, let's do this one. So we've got this one right here, and you're going to do the base. You're going to multiply it by the height. I told you right here the height is 4, and remember, you want the height on the inside. You don't want the height out here. I don't think we did any problems like that. They're not going to be on the test, but this guy out here, that's called the slant height. You want the actual height here, and I told you that that was 4. So we've got 1/3 base times height. All right, so 1/3 is going to give me 36 times 4 divided by 3. If you don't like it like that, it's 1/3 times 36 times 4. Whichever way you want to go about it is fine. Again, your numbers, whatever numbers they throw at you, you're given a calculator. So 36 times 4 equals 144 divided by 3. It's going to give me 48 inches cubed. Cone, same thing. You're going to do 1/3. So it's 1/3 pi r squared h. That's how you find the volume. Okay, but what that really equals, you guys see that right there? That's actually just the area of the base. Okay, we have the area of the base within that formula. So radius is 14. You're going to get calculators on the test because you're going to have to approximate and put out pi. So you're going to have to work out pi. If you're not given a calculator on the test, that means your teachers change the numbers to make them super easy, and you won't have to do the extra step. Okay, but I know my class, we're using calculators. All right, so we've got pi r squared. We're going to find the area of the base. Pi r squared. Radius is 14. 14 times 14 gets me 196. So I have 196 pi inches squared. First part. I'm going to do the volume with respect to pi, meaning I'm going to leave pi in my answer. I'm not going to multiply that out. All right, and so I'm just going to multiply it by the height, which is 25, and I still need to divide it out by 3. So 196 times 25 gets me 4,900 divided by 3. Okay, it's going to give me 1633.33 pi inches cubed. So for this one, you leave your answer in terms of pi. For the approximate, you would take your answer and multiply it. You guys can put it right there so it's out of light. Multiply it by pi to get your answer right there. All right, so this is the approximate when you put in pi. Otherwise, you leave your answer in terms of pi. Again, if you have to leave your answer in terms of pi, the numbers will be much smaller than this because they're going to want you to multiply them out by hand. So my volume here is 5131.27 inches cubed. Okay. All right, to find the volume of a sphere, we're not doing any area of a sphere, so we're only doing volume. And the volume formula is 4/3 pi r cubed. Remember, anytime you have pi in a formula, you're going to have some kind of circle. So my diameter is 18. That means the whole thing, which means my radius is equal to 9. I'm gonna have to round that up. For this one right here, it depends on what they wanted you to round it to. I rounded it to the nearest hundredth, so this one number was smaller, so I kept it at 7. If it tells you to round it to the nearest tenth, then that would be 3. If it tells you to round it to the nearest whole number, you would go there. So it just depends on where they want you to round it to. When we're doing an approximate, we usually go out a couple numbers past the decimal for those. All right, so but the test will tell you what they want you to round it to. All right, so volume with respect to pi. It means we're leaving pi in our answer. So we're just going to have 4/3 times pi times 9 cubed. All right. Now, without a calculator, that number is probably going to be something more like a 2 or a 3 or a 4. 9 times 9 times 9. Grand total of 729. All right, I have 729 times 4/3 times pi. Let me multiply that out. So I'm going to multiply that by 4. And then I'm going to divide it by 3. So I get 972 pi inches cubed. Okay, that's this guy right here, if I leave it in terms of pi. If I don't, if I want the approximation, I just take that 972 and multiply it by pi. And then I get my number, which, sorry, I have to pull up my calculator because it's backwards on my screen. 3053.63. So these guys right here, I'm rounding up to the nearest hundredth, so I went up to 3. And that is going to be in inches cubed. Again, units are just as important. Okay, you get partial credit for your units, so make sure you don't screw up the units. Especially in a problem like this, you're going to get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 points maybe per problem just for making sure your units are intact and everything else. All right, there are 2 word problems on your test. There is a word problem, one that's like a fish tank and you're filling up water. There's another one that is, will this much fill up another one with cones and cylinders and other things. So let's do the easy one right here. A closet, we're going to assume the closet is a rectangular prism. That's your closet, kind of goes like that. And it is 6 by 5 by 8. You're only finding the volume. So we need to find the volume of the closet, which is 6 times 5 times 8. Again, you're going to have a calculator, so 6 times 5 times 8. No reason to make silly math mistakes. So it's 240. You have 240 feet cubed. That's your closet. All right, they're telling you there's a suitcase inside. Here's your little suitcase. And that is 2 by 3 by 4. Multiply them all together. 2 times 3 times 4. Hopefully you guys can do that without a calculator. But you get 24 feet cubed. And it wants to know how much room is left in the closet. So there's the total amount. That's how much is taken. Just subtract. So 240 minus 24. Again, these numbers are small enough to where if you didn't have a calculator, not going to be a problem. If you do, no reason to screw it up on the silly mistakes. Just know that it's a subtraction problem and always figure out what they're asking you to do, okay? They didn't ask you for the volume of the closet. They didn't ask you for the volume of the suitcase. They want to know how much room is left in the closet, but you have to find the volume of both to figure out how big that's going to be. All right, this guy right here, this is kind of like what your test has one. I did this one with like a box of water and a hydro flask because everybody kind of has a hydro flask. It's in a cylinder shape, but let's just do this. Thanks to Caro and Anna Maria for letting me use their names in our fun review sheets. All right, so he's got a box of water, and that box is 6 by 3 by 3. Kind of got cut off on the side, so I rewrote it here. So let's do that. 6 by 3 by 3, 6 times 3 times 3. It's going to get me 54 inches cubed. There's the volume of the water box. So there's a box. All right, we've got a cylinder. So there's the hydro flask. It's got a diameter of 4 and a height of 8. Remember, we're not using the diameter, we're only using the radius. So we've got pi r squared h. So let's find the area first, which is going to be pi times 2 squared. So 4 pi times 8, which gets me 32 pi. All right, well, 32 pi, I don't know if 32 pi is bigger than 54 inches. All right, but because you're given a calculator, 32 times pi. All right, that's going to give me 100.53 inches cubed. So that's my hydro flask. There's my box water. If he needs to transfer this into here, it's definitely going to fit. Okay? Other way around, not going to happen. All right, so you're just comparing two volumes. And again, it's the same shapes over and over. Review questions. Find the sum of the interior angles of an octagon, right? And then they want you to find the value of one interior angle. The formula for that, remember, is 180 times n minus 2, where n is the number of sides. An octagon has 8, so 180 times 6, which gives me 1080. So the sum of the interior angles, the total number inside the octagon is going to be 1080. So that's the sum. And then they want the value of 1. They just want one of these guys. So to get that, I'm going to divide that by 8. So 8 to 1080. Again, you have a calculator, not going to be a problem. 24 makes that 40, 135. So one interior angle is 135 degrees. Right. If not, math is still easy enough to do. No one's asking you to find ridiculously big numbers. Find the sum of the exterior angles of a hexagon. All right, again, these are kind of like trick questions. They want the sum of the exterior angles. It's always 360 degrees. It doesn't matter what that number is. It could be a triangle, it could be a quadrilateral, it could be a pentagon, it could be an octagon, it can be a hundredgon, and the sum of the exterior angles That's their keyword right there, exterior, 360 degrees. Don't get fooled. All right. A little bit more trig. They want you to find the measure of angle B. That's what they're looking for right there. They've given you all three sides, so you can figure it out any way you want. I will do, I'll do sine. So sine of x equals opposite over hypotenuse. Opposite over hypotenuse. If you wanted to do cosine, if you wanted to do tangent, it doesn't matter. All right, because I'm finding an angle, I need inverse sine. You got a calculator? Inverse sine, 6 divided by 17. And that gets me 20.67. And what did I just find? I just found the degrees of that angle right there. Finding a side, you're going to use regular sine, cosine, tangent. I'm right here because that's the angle I'm given. I have adjacent and hypotenuse. So I have adjacent over hypotenuse, which is cosine. Cosine 41 equals adjacent over hypotenuse. I'm going to get x by itself, multiply both sides by 19. With your calculator, 19 times cosine of 41. And that gets me 14.3. Okay, that is an appropriate number. Remember, my hypotenuse is the longest side, so anything else is going to have to be less. 14.3 is a good number. All right, for this guy right here, I should have put on here that they're similar triangles. There's a lot of confusion around this problem when we did our SBAC test last week. This was a problem that was straight off of your SBAC. And what it required you to do was understand 3, 4, 5 triangles, well, special right triangles, and actually know your Pythagorean triples and understand what similar meant. So I know this is a 3, 4, 5 triangle. I know this is going to be a 6, 8, 10 triangle because they're telling me they're similar, which means my sides are proportional. And I know that these are Pythagorean triples. So this part right here, cosine of B. Cosine of B is adjacent over hypotenuse. That's 8 over 10. So I've got 8 over 10. That's my cosine of B. And they want to know if that's equal to sine of W. Here's W. My sine is opposite over hypotenuse. Does 8 over 10 equal 4 over 5? Yeah, it does. Because if I reduce that, 4 over 5 equals 4 over 5. That guy's true. All right, tangent of A. Here's A, tangent, opposite over adjacent, 8 over 6. Is that less than tangent of W? Tangent of W, opposite over adjacent, 4 over 3. Okay, let me reduce that by 2. I have 4 over 3 is less than 4 over 3. That is not true. Those are equal. It's not less than that. So that guy's false. And my last one, sine of A, opposite over hypotenuse, is less than sine of Y. Here's Y, opposite over hypotenuse, 3 over 5. Okay, and let's reduce this. If I reduce that, I get 4 over 5. Is 4 over 5 less than 3 over 5? No, it's not. So that guy's false as well. If you don't like that, again, you have a calculator to do these problems. Should not be an issue. Okay, tomorrow's exam. Here's what you got. You've got volume of a cube, rectangular prism, cylinder, a triangular prism, cone, a square pyramid, and a sphere. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay? You need to be able to do the volumes of all of those. These guys right here. Okay, so everything but the sphere, you need to be able to find area of the base separately from that. You're going to have to find the area of the base no matter what because you need it to find the volume, but it's going to be broken up into separate answers. Remember, anything for area is going to be whatever your units are, so inches, centimeters, meters, squared. For volume, units cubed. Can we do a problem with the sphere? Yeah, you're only doing volume. It's like this one right here. Okay, so it's 4/3 pi r cubed. Whatever your radius is, not a big deal. So I'll draw one out real quick for you. So if you have a sphere and okay, they're going to give you the radius or the diameter. I'll make it easy. We're going to make it a radius of 2, and let's call it 2 inches. My volume is 4/3 pi r cubed. All right, that's the volume of a sphere. Okay, my r is 2. If they gave you the whole thing, you would cut it in half. So I have 4/3 times pi times 2 cubed. That guy is 2 times 2 times 2. 4/3 times pi times 8. Right? Now I'm going to leave pi in it for right now, but I got to deal with that. So that is like 8/1 times 4/3, which gets me 32 divided by 3. You can leave it like that. Okay, that's 32 divided by 3 pi inches cubed. Right? With the calculator, plug it all in, pull out the pi, multiply it out, whatever you need to do. Again, all your formulas are going to be given to you in a box. You just have to know which ones are which. So if you see this one, 1/3 pi r squared h, anything with 1/3 in it, okay, is going to have to be a cone or a pyramid. Anything with a pi in it is going to have a circle somewhere, right? And everything you do has the height for the most part, except for the sphere. But everything else, you're looking for the height. Triangle. Okay, so a triangle, to find the area of a triangle, it's 1/2 the base times the height, or base times height divided by 2. So if you think of it like this, it makes, let me turn this real quick. So on your triangle, if you're given this, and we'll just do 3 and 4. To find the area of that triangle, it is 1/2 the base times the height. Let me just put a unit in there. So your area is 1/2 3 times 4, or your base is actually 4, your height is 3. There you go. Even though it doesn't matter because I'm just multiplying. 1/2 of 12, which gives me 6 centimeters squared. Okay, that's the area of a triangle. So you'll get all of these formulas. You just have to know which one's which. Okay, so clues, again, 1/3 cone pyramid. Anything with pi has to have some kind of circle in it. So you're going to have to use a cylinder, a cone, a sphere. All right, that way you can kind of figure out which goes with which. All right. I think you guys should do well on this test. I think this test is fairly easy. Oh, other thing, makeup exam for exam 10. All right, makeup exam 10, that is tomorrow. So that's Friday during period 4 or after school with Duran in room 12. That's Miss Duran, the math teacher, not Miss Duran, the dean. Okay, in room 12. So period 4 or after school makeup exam for exam 10. That's the one we took last week. Tomorrow, period 4 after school, room 12. All right, so if you guys need help with your volume stuff, I'll be at school early tomorrow. I'm in 104. Mr. Finch, again, is there super early at school. He's in 107. He's probably your best hope for before school tutoring. All right, if you need lunch tutoring, I'll be in 110. I'll probably be the easiest place for me to tutor. So if you have period 3 or 4 geometry and you want tutoring, come see me in 110. Otherwise, good luck tomorrow and have a great Thanksgiving break.